All right, to discuss Eskom further, we're joined by Peter Attard Montalto, Head of Capital Markets Research at Intellidex. He joins us via Skype from London. Peter, thank you very much. You've been pessimistic about Eskom for a while. Is this number in line with your low hopes, this loss reported today?
Good evening. Well, the actual loss was slightly better than expected. The market had expected around 25 billion rand. It came out at 20.7. There was some accounting maneuvering going on to ensure that was the case. The real number that the market's watching is the increase in net debt, basically, which really shows actually the sort of burn rate of cash underneath the entity. That increased by 52 billion and was more than I think most investors and creditors really saw. But the negativity around Eskom, I mean, you have to sort of compartmentalize. Remember, it has basically an unlimited backstop from National Treasury now, and as such, credit risk at Eskom has fallen. But the turnaround signs from the financials here look like the line picture is still very, very slow. Yeah.
I guess the last thing you want to hear from an outgoing CEO is what he said today, that the organization is heading into a death spiral. The fact is Eskom is paying more on its debt charges on interest than it's earning. How do you deal with something as fundamentally wrong as that?
Well, I thought that was a marvelous sort of final lob into the fire by Pakamani, describing it as death spiral. It is actually a technical term. It means basically that as you try and raise more revenue by hiking tariffs, you'll actually offset that with lower volumes of electricity sold. And that's basically why Eskom are forecasting a 20 billion loss for the current fiscal year as well, when those results come out in 12 months' time. And this is really the point around the slow sort of underlying turn in Eskom. Basically, you can't do anything on the revenue side because of people going off grid. We're at a tipping point. National Treasury is worried they're at a tipping point where people start going off grid faster in response to the coming tariff hikes. And as a result, everything is basically on the expenditure side. Some progress being made with that, but really only penciling in 3,000 job losses in the coming sort of 18 months or so means that really very little is done on that part. And as a result, Eskom will be running losses for some time to come.
What gives? Because there was some hope. I think even last time we spoke, Eskom had received 59 billion from government. There was some hope that at least government was putting the financials there for Eskom to start finally dealing with its debt.
Exactly, and that's why overall credit risk and sort of default risk at Eskom is now reduced, because the government has stood in with that 23 billion first, and another 26 billion for this year, and then 59 billion in total for next year. So that's why we have to differentiate the headline and the underlying situation in Eskom. At the end of the day, of course, we want Eskom to be a standalone investment-grade credit. That's what the Eskom team has kept talking about. But really, we can really see in the financials today the huge gap that funding from National Treasury is having to fill.
What does this mean, finally, Peter, for South Africa? Talk of another downgrade. What does it mean overall?
Well, I think the key worry here is, as I said just now, the way of turning Eskom around is mainly on the expenditure side. But Eskom still wants to try and push harder on the revenue side and say wants more tariff increases. As a result, is making another emergency clawback application in the coming weeks. So there's still going to be a lot more pressure on the tariff going forwards for consumers, unfortunately, which is obviously negative for growth. But the other point as well, of course, is the rating agencies want to see there is an underlying plan and turnaround and have confidence in a CRO to really be able to do that. And I think on that front, there will still be a lot of skepticism from the rating agencies. We're watching Moody's very closely, obviously, particularly if there's a change of analyst that comes very shortly. That would indicate that a downgrade probably is on the way.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter Attard Montalto from Intellidex.